Hello and welcome back. In this segment of training, we'll talk about motivating others. Motivation is one of the key parts of leadership. It's not just about giving instructions. It's about helping people stay engaged, inspired, and willing to give their best. So in this short session, we'll look at what motivation really is, what it's not, and what leaders can do to build it in their teams. In this session, we'll keep it clear and simple. First, we'll talk about what motivating others really means. Secondly, we'll take a look at what people's motivators are and how we can notice when something is missing. And finally, we'll discuss what practical actions a leader can take to support motivation in teams. When we talk about motivating others, we don't mean pushing people or forcing them to work harder. Motivation is about creating the right conditions so that people want to do their best. And when work feels meaningful, when there is support, and when people feel they are growing, that's when motivation really steps in. So motivating others is less about pressure and more about helping others find energy and purpose in what they do. Many companies today still believe that people are motivated by rewards, by fear, or by competition. It may sound simple. Give people a bonus and they will work harder. Or create pressure and people will move faster. Sometimes these things can work in the short term, but they don't build real, lasting motivation. In fact, too much focus on incentives, shame, or competition often creates stress, fear, and burnout instead of really true engagement. So, what is motivation? Motivation is basically the inner drive that makes us act. It's the reason why we choose to do something and keep doing it. Motivation is not about outside pressure. It's about what gives people energy and direction within. So when we talk about motivating others, what we really mean is supporting those inner reactions to act and grow. So motivating others actually means actively helping people find the energy to act. It's about encouraging, inspiring, and supporting them so they feel willing to give their best. And as leaders, we don't just wait for people to be motivated. We create the conditions that spark motivation. It's an intentional effort to bring out the drive in others. Before we talk about motivating others, let's pause for a moment. Think about yourselves. What really motivates you at work? Is it having a clear purpose? Is it when people support you? Or maybe it's when you feel you're learning and growing. When we reflect on our own motivators, it becomes easier to understand what drives others too. So now let's move on. If we want to motivate others, we need to understand what actually motivates people. And also how we as leaders can notice when motivation is strong and when something important is missing. This is when three key motivators come in. They are meaningful work, mutual support, and personal fulfillment. They give us a simple way to diagnose the motivational state of a person or a team. Now, let's talk about them a bit more at a greater detail. First, meaningful work. People stay motivated when they feel their work has a purpose. It's not just about tasks or deadlines, it's about knowing why the work matters. When employees see how their effort makes a difference for the team, the company, or even customers, they naturally want to give more. Second, mutual support. Motivation grows when people know they're not alone. Support from colleagues and leaders creates trust, safety, and energy. When people feel connected and cared for, they can go through challenges and still stay engaged. And finally, mutual personal fulfillment. This is about growth, learning, and self-realization. People want to use their strengths and they want to develop their skills and feel proud of their progress. If they see they're becoming better professionals, motivation stays strong. And as leaders, We can use these three motivators as a simple checklist. It helps us in two ways. First, to look at the whole team and see the motivational climate. Are people finding meaning, supporting one another, and growing? And second, to focus on a specific employee and notice if one of these motivators is missing. This way, we don't guess. We have a clear tool to guide our actions. So as a leader, you can ask yourself three simple questions. First, do my people see their work as meaningful? Do they feel mutual support in the team? Do they have opportunities for personal fulfillment and growth? If the answer to any of these is not really, that's a signal. It shows where you need to focus your actions and to keep motivation alive. So let's do a quick check together. Let's imagine here's what one employee says. I used to feel like my ideas mattered, but lately every suggestion seems to get brushed aside. We are expected to get through the day without questioning the approach, even when we see issues that could be solved more easily. It feels like I'm just there to follow orders rather than contribute anything meaningful. Now think about our checklist. Again, meaningful work, mutual support, personal fulfillment. Which of these three seems to be missing for this person? As you may have guessed, the key issue here is meaningful work. This person doesn't feel their ideas matter anymore. Their contributions are ignored and their role has just become following orders. When people lose the sense of meaning, their motivation quickly drops, even if other factors like support or growth are present in this case. Here's another example. A person says, I'm finding it harder to keep up with everything lately. The team is overloaded, and even though we raise it in meetings, nothing changes. We keep getting new tasks without any extra resources or time. It's like we're expected to do more with less, and it's wearing everybody down. So I'm not sure what's expected of us anymore. Think again. Which motivator is missing here? Yes, you're absolutely right. The main issue is mutual support. The team is overloaded, but they don't feel supported by their leaders. Their concerns are not acted on, and extra demands keep just piling up. Without real support, motivation drops and frustration grows. Now that we know the three key motivators, meaningful work, mutual support, and personal fulfillment, the next question is, what can leaders actually do about it? Motivation doesn't grow on its own. It needs to be supported with clear, practical actions. So let's take a look at what leaders can do for each of these three motivators. First of all, let's talk about meaningful work. As leaders, we can keep people motivated by making work feel meaningful. First, always connect daily tasks to the bigger purpose. Explain why the work matters. Second, involve people in decisions so they see that their ideas actually make a difference. And third, recognize contributions. A simple thank you or showing how someone's work helped the team can really go a long way. Now, mutual support. Motivation grows when people feel supported. That means being present and approachable as a leader so people know they can come to you. It also means encouraging teamwork, not letting everyone struggle alone. And when team is overloaded, just like in our example before, step in, help set priorities, balance the load, or remove obstacles. And finally, personal fulfillment. You remember it's about growth and self-realization. As leaders, we can support this by giving people opportunities to learn and stretch through training or new tasks. We should also help them use their strengths in daily work so they feel confident and effective. And finally, give regular feedback and celebrate progress so people see they are developing over time. So let's wrap it up with one key point. We've talked about what motivation is, what it's not, how to spot the three main motivators, and we've also seen what leaders can do in practice to keep motivation alive. So here's the main point I want to leave you with today. Motivation isn't just HR's job. It's yours as a leader. Every day you have the power to inspire, support, and energize your team. And when you do, people don't just work. They grow, they contribute, and they give their best.